Big announcement yesterday, and that has implications for the balance of power in the Senate, whether or not Republicans could take over in 2024. Maryland Democratic Senator Ben Cardin announced yesterday that he will not seek a fourth term in the Senate. Maryland has not had a Republican senator since Charles Mathias left office back in 1986. With us now, former Maryland Republican Governor Larry Hogan. Has your phone stopped ringing in the past 24 hours?
Well, I turned it off, actually, because it was blowing up. I'll tell you, I'm getting a lot of calls about that.
What was the most unexpected call telling you to run?
Well, I'm getting, I'm being called by senators and donors, and I'm getting lots of inquiries from the media. But the thing that surprised me the most was that my wife said, "Why don't you run for the Senate?" Which is,
What'd you tell her?
I told her she was crazy. I mean, I didn't have any interest in being a senator.
Okay, wait, we told your wife she's crazy. Okay, now saying it on national television.
I told her directly.
If you don't have anything to do for dinner, feel free. Yeah. No, but really, she said, "Why don't you run?"
Yeah.
You think about Maryland. You one of the only Republicans to ever win there statewide. We've got here 2014. Larry Hogan won by 3.7%. 2018, Ben Cardin, the Democrat, 34%. Larry Hogan wins by 12%. You won re-election in 2018 in a deep blue state by 12 points.
Yeah.
Chris Van Hollen wins by 31. You're a guy who can swing a 50-point difference, and you wouldn't run. Why not?
Well, I ran 45 points ahead of Donald Trump, and 2018 was a really tough, big blue wave.
Yeah.
We're in the bluest state in America. I was able to survive, but I really wanted to be governor, and I loved being governor. I thought I was making a difference in my state, and
you did an incredible job. So
Senate's an entirely different job, and you're one of 100 people arguing all day. Not a lot gets done in the Senate, and most former governors that I know that go into the Senate aren't really thrilled with the job. But yeah, I could win the race. There was polls saying I would beat Van Hollen by 12 points, but it's a tough race, and in a presidential year. It makes it even more difficult. But it's just not something I've ever aspired to do. But I am taking.
Is that a hard no?
I've said
Sherman-esque?
I'm not really not quite Sherman-esque. I'm not. I've just never been interested in the job, and I've told most people, look, thanks. I'm flattered, and I appreciate the call, but it's not something I'm pursuing.
All right, fair enough. If that changes, obviously you're welcome back anytime for that. But I think about, you said it's a presidential year. You're the honorary co-chair of No Labels, which Peggy Noonan wrote about in the Wall Street Journal. The centrist group No Labels says it's provisionally attempting to get on the ballot in all 50 states. We'll see how that works. But a third party, if it comes, would have a real and surprising power in this cycle. I think about that. The other thing that would have a real surprising power is a centrist Republican coalition in the U.S. Senate. I mean, if you follow what she just said about No Labels, they need people like you, don't they? Well,
most of the work of No Labels is about trying to bring people to the center, and from bringing people from the right and the left, Democrats and Republicans, and they've had some success with the Problem Solvers Caucus, some of the few bipartisan things that got done or as a result of No Labels. But this presidential thing is a whole different, I'm not really involved in that effort, but, I understand why people are, so frustrated. I mean, 65% of the people in America do not want Joe Biden or Donald Trump to be president, and yet they appear to be the potential nominees.
You say that. They appear to be. Trump 58%, DeSantis 22%, Pence 5%. We put the poll up a little while ago. Glenn Youngkin now says effectively, he's out. You've said in the past you're not going to promise to endorse Donald Trump because you don't think he's going to be the nominee.
Well, no, I said I wasn't going to support Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't think he should be the nominee.
Okay.
I think it's it's really bad for the. 6 months ago we had the third election in a row where we performed terribly. We've lost 3 times in a row. I think it'd be the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I think Donald Trump's probably the only person in America that could lose to Joe Biden.
All right. To be fair, he did lose to Joe Biden once, but still, where is the disconnect then between you and the Republican primary electorate?
Well, the primary electorate is completely different than what you need for the general election, and that's the problem. So we have, sometimes 20-some% of the people turn out in a primary. It's the most passionate, most conservative folks that turn out in the Republican primary, and the opposite in the Democratic primary. And then we get to the general election, and most of the swing voters say this is not what we're looking for. So, I had more success in winning over swing voters than just about anybody in America. But that doesn't necessarily translate to winning a Republican primary in the process you have to go through. Donald Trump is sort of the opposite. Yeah. He's able to win a Republican primary, but can't win swing voters.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.